Hey, Wealth Warriors, are you ready to redefine wealth and master your money mindset? Welcome back to Women of Wealth. I'm your Gen X host, Hollywood's Gray.
And I'm your millennial host, Allie Ramo. And today's conversation is especially powerful for anyone building wealth while still working full time.
Yes, absolutely. Our guest today, Hanna Pine. Hanna works in the airlines and alongside her career has built a sophisticated real estate investing business focused on value-add single home rental properties, institutionalized acquisitions, and helping others create passive income through well-structured deals.
What I love about Hannah's story is that she proves you don't have to quit your job or go all in overnight to start building wealth. She's doing this strategically with discipline and integrity. And that's such an important message for our community.
Absolutely. Hanna, welcome to Women of Wealth. We're so excited to have you.
Hi, Holly and Allie. Thank you, ladies, for having me today, and an opportunity for me to let other women that this is possible, that even having a full time, we can create wealth and keep your side hustle, building wealth, and then hopefully that we can all retire our W-2.
Absolutely. So, when you started getting serious about building wealth and maintaining your full time career, which is something many women do aspire to, can you take us back to the beginning and what first sparked your interest in real estate and what gave you the confidence to start while you're working for the airlines?
Absolutely, yes. When I dived in, it was actually 2022, and I was really trying to get into like fourplex and rent in one of them and rent out the three. So I was really doing the house hacking, but I didn't. All the numbers didn't work. So I said, okay, I'll just go ahead and learn the language of this real estate. So I moved on, and I said, okay, I'm gonna not leave real estate. I'm still gonna go ahead and study it, right? So then finally we found a Arkansas property, and I had a partner. So I learned a creative way that you can leverage other people's money. That's why it's called the OPM. And I said, oh, how do I do this? So I bought a book, and it's called the Wealth Without Cash by my senior leader, which is Pace Morby. And then I read it. And one of my first deals, actually, I didn't get paid. I just really brought the value, and I used what I learned from that book and listening to podcasts, listening to YouTube, and all this stuff that I learned. I mean, I'm trying to learn it. And then I said, oh, then there's this opportunity from work. The woman that I work with, she didn't have the credit, but she needed the car. And I had another woman that had a business for Turo, and her partner didn't pay. So I said, "Oh, okay. Well, if I bring them together and solve this problem, then I can go ahead and get that creative into play." So then that happened, and then I said, "Oh, okay. Maybe I'm not really wanting to do the passive on a real estate, me buying it, because I was trying to get this Arkansas property, and then the way my other partner was structuring it." Then the other person that I got introduced by my friend Pace didn't agree with the structure. So he said, run away from that. So he introduced me to this person, and now he is my partner on as my capital partner. And then I'm in the lending business of real estate. So I said, oh, now it's good lending. So I said, okay, I'm going to learn this again instead of just doing it on my own. So then he said, oh, we can do I have capital partners, and then we can go ahead and this is what I do, which is on the real estate, you fund the wholesalers. It's called the double close. And some states, they don't allow the wholesalers to sell the property. You have to be able to buy it, and that's why it's called the double close. The wholesaler has to buy it, and then they can go ahead and sell it to the end buyer. So that's how they get their assignments, assignment fees. So that's how I got into all this, because it started with a challenge because I needed a private money lending, and I was cold calling. So now it relates to my W-2. Thank God to my W-2, because I'm set up with gaps on my flights. If I don't work a flight, then I have that break, right? So what I do is I cold call. I cold call investors and people that has the money. And then I said, okay, I'm so used to like, oh no, you get no and no's and no's until you get that person that, oh, okay, this person is actually going to engage and have conversation. So I think one of the important things that I've learned is that you just don't take it like personally when people say no to you. And it was set up like it's ingrained in me because of the airline I work with for is oh, when you get say no, it's not towards you seriously, you just move on to the next person, so to the next passenger. So it was really good that that how it started because of that trying to do all this acquiring it on my own. Then the power is that it's the who. I don't know if you guys know the book. It's not how, it's the who by
Mm-hmm.
Sampson. Yeah, so that is a powerful book. That's also what pushed me towards into the real estate, now into lending and doing the capital partners and lending into the wholesalers and creative. So usually the creative finance. Now we're gonna go to the creative finance. I help people structure the RV parks or mobile park homes, and I bring that value. Not all of me, of course. I built that relationship. So in real estate, it's all about building relationship and building rapport. Now, when I started back in 2024 December, it took me 2009 hours to close my first deal and get paid. And I said, oh, it's not so bad. But when you look back, I'm like, oh my gosh, it took me that long to actually get paid. But it's okay because it's so worth it, and I'm really after the result. And again, being a full time, I'm okay doing it because I do it on a gap and like during my free time. I think I just was my mindset was like, okay, this is what I got, and 85% is like towards this calling and building relationship and telling people what I do. So that's how it started. And then I closed and I funded $1 million deal in 2025 on April. That was so good. Like after that 2000 hours, I said, oh, I calculated. And, you know, when as people like us, women that are organized, we track our time, we time block. So I learned how to time block and all that. So yeah, it helped me. And reading those books too, it helped me shape who I am now and what I'm doing in real estate.
I was
And
looking
keep
at my bookcase because I have that one up there.
yeah. So yeah, it's really I leverage people's skill, and when I underwrite, I look at the numbers, and then I try to look for the red flags on each deal that I look for. And if I can't find it, then I have this relationship with underwriters. So I don't pay people out of my pocket because it's $250 per hour to underwrite one deal. And because I'm not going to do that, I learned a creative way. Then the deal ended up paying the underwriter because then they become the underwriters for this deal that I brought to the table. So that's how I do it. And then um, OPS is the leveraging other people's skill, and OPM is leveraging other people's money. And of course that report is you build that trust with other people. And when I got, actually it was also in 2025, my partner said to me, when he was like probably thinking that okay, Hannah is showing up and doing what she said that she would do, then he messaged me, hey, you're allowed now, you're capable to lend up to 500,000. 500,000. I said, oh my goodness. So my nervous system as a W-2, I don't know how to receive it at that time. And then the same day, he then texted me later on that day. He said, by the way, you are eligible to lend $1 million. I said, what? So now I'm really like, I couldn't, I don't know how to, I'm still learning the language of real estate in lending. And I said, okay, I will do it. And then he told me this is what we do, and this is what we're gonna be lending, and our money never stay it never stay hard on the loan or the money. It stays soft the whole entire transaction. So our capital partners trust us because our money stays in the escrow. It never leaves, and it wires back to us quickly, same 24-hour.
Yes, you started your journey in 2022. And how did you meet your now partner since you were working for the airlines? How did you like get aligned with the right people early on?
So early on, going back to that, I was looking for the private money, and I reached out to Pace, which is the book that I bought, right? And he connected me to this partner, my partner now, which is his name is Gabriel. And he said, oh, I don't do that anymore, but this is what I do. So, but I didn't leave him alone because he answered me, and he was willing to bring, at that time, I said, I don't know what kind of value I'm bringing to this person. So anytime I talk to people, I know my head is set up that what value can I bring to this person in exchange of what I'm needing, right? And then at that time, I don't know, but he showed up, and then he said to me, "This structure is not good, so stay away." Since he did all that, and I said, "Okay, how can I help you? How can I do this and this? How can I bring value to you?" And he said, "You learn this, you learn." And so he held my hands throughout the process of me, and then I finally dived in and paid again for another mentorship. But it's not a mentorship, we don't call it mentorship, it's a community, because it's not Pace all the time that's going to be available. And he's right, I paid before, in actually in 2022 I went and paid a community for mentorship. It's called the Burr strategy, which is buy, repair, rent, and repeat. And I didn't get into it's not a bad community, it's just it requires a lot more, and I'm more aligned on being on a creative way, because I ended up owning three other properties seller finance. So I said I have a seller finance in California property, and then one in Arizona, and then one in the Philippines. So it's all seller finance. I didn't know it works in everywhere parts of so that's what I got right now. And so that's a seller finance. And I mean, the traditional, it's still of course there, but the creative finance is like when you find out the pain point of that seller and you're bringing the solution to them, they're most likely willing to like do work on the terms with you. And most of the time it's, we call it the seller carry back. That's for the regular traditional, but with us we call it a Morby Method, which is it's a seller carry, DSCR loan, and then the transactional lending, which is what I do. That's what I focus is I do the Morby Method and the double close, and then all on other that I on the other side of that, then I help suggest a structure, how to structure it. And usually when you do the Morby Method, you would offer on the what they're asking, instead of buying the property, asking to buy it down, you ask for a maybe discount. No, Morby Method and creative, you give what the seller want on your terms as a buyer. So it almost works out, because now you highlight the what do you call this, their pros on it, which is the tax, you're not paying tax, instead of them getting the lump sum from you from your down payment, or how you structure it. They're not paying Uncle Sam, they're just gonna get like a steady income from our terms. So that's how it all works out. But yeah, that's how I learn and got into this. And it took me 2009 hours to get paid on my first deal.
Right. So you were talking about some creative financing through the seller financing and the Morby Method. What are some other strategies that you use, and how do people find out about this? Like, what if I don't want to become an expert in it, but I just want to possibly be an investor? How would I find out about that?
Yeah, right. Like through us, it's me. So then the people that doesn't, like, they have money but they don't want to learn, and that's what exactly what I do. I help the investor, because there's really just two problems, right? You're either don't have time, or you have so much money, or you have no money but you have so much time. So the investors, the people that our capital partners, they don't have time but they have the money. So what we do is we they invest into us, which is in transactional lending, and then we deploy that money into the escrow that then it never leaves, and then they find out about that. Oh my gosh, it works. So me and my capital partners, we have like the ones that owns the body shop, and then which is here, and then one in Washington, and they own tracking business, and Gabriel with all his stuff that he has here, like properties. So, and then now people bring their RV parks and mobile park homes, and it's crazy. And then with the numbers, is I'm still not used to it. The numbers also in a stadium. Ladies, I'm actually currently working on a $37 million stadium in Reno. So this person, I'm friends with brokers. So to answer your question, how do you even find these deals? Well, it's actually the brokers. Usually the brokers cannot close this kind of deal. So then they find people like me that will bring this to the table, closing table. So I'm friends with brokers. They bring this to me. They find out that I'm funding this kind of deals, because my one of my first deal was in Florida. It's a golf course in Florida, and I funded it. We funded it for $1 million, and then now I'm currently working on that stadium. It's a sports club in Reno, and then another one brought me a 48 million capital market add value. It's a multi-family in Charleston. So hopefully that is, but all of that, I'm working on an RV park as well, and a mobile home parks. And what I want to share to the ladies is that one of the project that I'm working on, I didn't come out where I didn't have to bring any money on this. This is all creative. What I brought to the table is the value that I know, which is the network, the connection, the underwriter structuring the actual deal. So it is in Florida, and finally the buyer asked me, Hannah, you're doing all of this, and you're only getting X amount of points to actually get paid on this. Did you want to have some type of ownership? And I said, you know what, let me structure it, let me go back, let me get back with you, and how am I going to do this, because I don't want to come out with my money and be responsible for the actual part. And so I came up with this. I said, why not? And I realized, why would I not do this? I do it for other people, structuring and suggesting it to them. So I said, you know what? I said, I can go ahead and GP, we call it GP, general partner. It's hands off. So I only have percentage of ownership, and I don't deal with day-to-day operation. I only would be there for the sell and refi, and no money out of pocket. That's what you call creative
Yeah,
finance. I
absolutely.
brought the value, and I didn't bring any money, but just the information that I got in, that I learned throughout this time.
So it's really clear, like to me, how real estate agents or mortgage lenders get paid. But when you're a creative, you're doing all the structures and things for people. Where, and you can just pass on the question, but where are you getting paid? Are you getting paid on the lending side? Like, where are you getting paid through if you're not becoming a general partner?
That's a good question, Ali. So I'm getting paid in not the amount of the loan amount, it's the purchase price. So for example, if the purchase price is 37 million, 1 point of that 37 million is what I'm getting paid for, because I brought the people in the table.
And how
So
many people would you bring into a deal like that?
So usually, like for example, with this RV park that I'm currently working, if they're needing X amount of money to, it's called the private money lending. Now there's investor, oh, we need this X amount of money to do the down payment, and then these investors are going to be in the LLC. We create LLC for them to protect them, that they are, if the person, which is the buyer, is not gonna perform, then these other people that is investing is gonna have the authority to, like, hey, we're gonna kick you out because you're not performing. So it's all gonna be, yeah, that's usually it's if we can, if it's 170,000 is not as many people, because then they're willing to do that. But I was gonna get into more of that because I'm in a W-2 and I have a lot of people that's their money is parked. But the reason being is the challenge that I saw with that is because they are W-2 people, that it's kind of like a challenge for me to explain more. So it's not, I said maybe it's not my line to do to get the money from their W-2, because you can do the IRA from from your 401k and deploy your money on this. But because I'm not licensed here in Vegas, that part of lending, then I just kind of left that. But for other investors, like the other people that has businesses, then we can do that, and we just set you up at LLC, or we actually have a big place to, it's a community, and it's they already took care of it. It's called the fractional, and people go there and you can actually shop there. And if you think that this is a good investment, and you can go ahead and put your money, it's they show you all the protection and how you're gonna get paid and all that. So yeah, it's a very I mean, it's very complex. That's what I learned with being in a real estate. And then I'm glad that I stumbled into the lending side instead of
So
like
in the example of the 37 million, how many investors would you have for like 37? Like how many investors would be in that? Would it be like, because you create an LLC, but you could have many partners in an LLC.
Yeah, so with the 37 million, because people could not perform on that, like the investors wouldn't invest on that, I ended up partnering with people that is almost like a traditional, but it's institutional. So I have this relationship that she worked hard to have this relationship with me, and I said, hey, Jackie, I have this stadium that needs funding, but I don't know if we can go creative on this, because there've been, I kid you not, this deal was in June of this last year. It was on June of last year, and it surfaced back on like the end of December. So, and this is the power of it. I want to let people know the power of follow up. Oh my goodness. I thought that this deal was underwater because it happened on June of 2025. We reconnected again. I reconnected with the person that is taking care of that deal, and she's also from my community with base. And she said, oh no, we haven't even funded that. So no, we didn't have any other investors. We only have, since they couldn't perform, he then said to me, Hannah, introduce me to the people that you have relationship with. But we're still in negotiating of the numbers and where we at. Actually, thank you for bringing that up, because now I have to have like a alignment call with all of them because where we at on this. So I actually received an email on the weekend, over the weekend, but I haven't replied yet. But yeah, I got off work earlier and I got ready for you guys and to be here to share this journey with you. I hope I didn't burn a lot of people's brain calories, because you want as easy and simplify everything, right?
And then what would be the minimum requirement? Like, so obviously you have a bunch of different properties, from the RVs to the mobile homes to single family. What would be like an entry point for people? What's the lowest amount they could put into a deal?
The
If
entry
they
point
if they
is
want to put money in, they don't want to work. They don't want to learn everything.
yeah,
They just want to put the
hands
money in.
off.
Yeah.
$5,000 only. Can you imagine? Welcome to 2026 now. I used to say 2025. And you can own a piece of tangible property that is sitting there and you're part owner of that. And you can easily, you say, you can buy me out, or you can sell your chunk of that, your piece of ownership, to somebody that's interested to just park the money,
Mhm.
instead of losing the money in the bank and they pay you, I don't know how many percent, but it's so low.
Right.
So, integrity and long-term relationships are clearly important to what you do, and central to how you operate. In an industry that prioritizes speed over substance, maybe not if your deal started in June and it came back up in December. I don't know if speed was there. But through that process, how do you keep transparent, and your reputation when you're working on speed but also focused on quality?
You know what? I'm gonna tell you the integrity when I am being asked a question. And I don't know the answer, I say it with humility. I'm not sure, but I can go ahead and find out the answer for you. I'd rather say I don't know and than me trying to pretend that I know the answer. So I think that's how I built the trust and integrity. And again, there are many people, women or men, that it's scared to say I don't know, or like I don't know the answer. And that's very important when we're being transparent, that I have no idea what that word is, and I will find out. So that's how it is with me, and I believe that's why people is, like they can feel that, they can feel that energy if you're pretending. So I don't want to. I'd rather look like that I don't know the answer and come back to you, than me trying to force it. So yeah, so no pretense, just I'd rather say again, I don't know the answer. I'll be back.
Yeah, I
Okay,
think
so that's great. Were you going to comment, Allie?
Oh yeah, I just think in any industry, I think people are starting to be able to read through the guessing when, if you don't know something and you're trying to push through that. And so I think the best thing you can do is say, I don't know, and I'll get back to you, and hold that integrity.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So many women in our community want passive income, but they don't want to create another full-time job. We've talked a little bit about that, but can you explain to people or to the listeners what passive realistically means in real estate, and how someone can participate, how they can get started without feeling like they have to spend over 2,000 hours before they see a payoff?
Like I said, one of the deals, like in RV, if we need like X amount of money, they can do that. They can join to any, not just to us, to any real estate investors that is doing the pitch deck to them. And when they see that this is how I'm getting paid without having to learn all of it, the ins and outs, and but that you're reading what you're signing, and that this is X amount of money that you're gonna get paid. Sometimes it's interest only for 12 to 24 months, and then you get your money, and then it doubles, or you get like because you're getting paid the interest. And sometimes if it's the deal is not as big, that's a passive. You don't do any work. You just park your money, and then somebody else doing the hard work. We're doing the hard work for you, as you become almost like a bank because you're a private money lender. So that's why the creative finance and the sellers is good, because now I'm going to explain it to you. The other one that I'm working on, it's mobile home parks. As a seller that want to retire and want to get out of that day-to-day operation, and they just want to fly and travel, what we do then is we set they're given a set of monthly that's gonna come, and they're still the owner, they're still in a first position, right? Because it's a seller carry. And what it is like you every month they get like maybe $2,000, and they didn't put any more work anymore, because they're just getting that X amount of money. So that's passive for them. And you can do that as an investor, not just a seller. As an investor, you have this opportunity in front of you, and you have somebody that will explain how you are protected. Number one, they want to see, how am I going to be protected? That my money goes hard day one that I deposited there. But the way it is, again, me being a person that's going to invest to that passive, I become just basically a small bank that put the money, and then I get the fees because I let them borrow my money. So that's how it works with the world that I'm in creative finance.
Great.
Awesome.
And if somebody wanted to get started with you, like, do you take on and train people? Do you have like assistants or, contractors that they say, okay, Hanna, I want to learn what you're doing. Can you be my mentor, be my teacher? How do you get involved in that?
So what I do now, I have my Calendly, and I'm available to be on the phone to actually give them the map and let them know. Especially in our community, I have like a full free call, 30 minutes that they can book me on my Calendly, and they can find that in my Instagram, Hanna.Pine, and there's a link in there. That you can book. And I can tell them briefly in 30 minutes how you can make more money passive and not doing all the work and burn a lot of brain calories. Like what you said, 2,009 hours. That's a lot of hours.
Gotta save the brain calories. As you look ahead, what's exciting to you most? What's the next chapter that you're really excited about?
That's what. Thank you so much for asking that question. What I'm excited about is really coming from that creativity and bringing the value. I mean, I'm shocked myself that I got offered that, since I'm bringing the value of what it needs in this specific deal. I'm actually going to be part owner and receive money monthly. And all I did is to bring the value that it needed in the deal, which is structuring and suggesting, bringing resources to my seller or client, and talking to the seller. And that's what I'm excited about. I'm gonna be like, from basically not having a park to now maybe 17, 18 parks. Well, units. There's going to be 18 units in this park. So yes, that's what I'm excited about, that I hopefully that we're going to come to the number and close on it.
Very
That's
good.
awesome.
So we always do a lightning round. Allie's going to ask you the question before we get into the lightning round. So you mentioned that one good way for people to find you is Hanna.Pine on your Instagram. Is there any other contact information you want to give out?
Yes, they can go ahead and email me, reach out to Hanna Pine at wealthypinecapital.com.
And we'll have all that information in the show notes as well.
And Hanna is spelled Hanna.
Yes, thank you for pronouncing it right.
All right,
Yeah,
so we are going to start the lightning round. So Hanna, what's one word to describe your investing or leadership style?
I would say it's going to be creative. One word, creative.
Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Your go-to productivity hack?
Actually, I do a lot of walking. So to like really productive, I like to walk in and clear up my mind. That's what I do, and it helps me.
Awesome. What is a business, money, or investing book or podcast that you recommend?
Well, one, this podcast, because you're going to learn a lot here, Women of Wealth. And the podcast is with Get Creative, and they can listen to my journey on that podcast, Get Creative with Pace Morby. And mine's, I believe they can listen to mine. It was aired on December 16th of 2025.
Amazing. What's a money or real estate myth you wish would go away forever?
Oh my gosh, traditional banking. That traditional banking. Yeah, that is the one I wish, because we can get on the creative side and everybody wins. That's why I love and obsessed with this creativity that we are I am in now, and I hope that people can start learning it too. It's amazing.
Awesome.
If you could sit down with any woman of wealth from the past or present, who would it be?
It would be Holly.
No.
Because I remember when I started on this, I actually had gave her briefed on what I'm doing, and what I was trying to get to her is that, Holly, I have so many opportunity, that if you have like all these business people that doesn't want to do the operation, I have all this protected unlimited deals. It's out there. And yeah, so that's what I'm gonna talk to Holly. Hollywood.
You can pick someone that's like famous or something. It doesn't have to be me. It could be
You know
like,
what? Right
Brianna.
now, it would be still Pace Morby. Oh, you said woman. It would be Cody Sanchez.
Oh, Allie loves her.
Yeah. Cody
Yep.
Sanchez. I met her in our Squad Up Summit, in real estate in Dallas last year.
Oh, cool.
Awesome. Yes, I just got caught up on all of my emails with her yesterday. She's one of those newsletters that I actually enjoy reading.
Yes.
Got good content in her newsletter.
Right.
Well, thank you so much, Hanna, for coming on and sharing your expertise. I know our listeners had to have learned something out of this. I know I did.
I took a whole page of notes.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much. What an opportunity to be here, and always having to like share. I'm really, I couldn't believe that until today that this is possible for anybody. And if I, somebody that working full time and being a mom, a wife, and it's possible.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much.